Tis Monday, yay. Sorry for my voice. I went to the ER today, and what a joy. So I am officially now on quarantine. Whoop whoop. Let us continue on chapter 16.
I kept telling you to put whiskey in the cup, you wouldn't listen.
I'd rather not have whiskey. Thank you, though. Chapter 16 of Reaper Adventures, The Search. And I was mistaken the last time. It was 3 chapters last chapter. Now it's 2 chapters because it's chapter 16 and then 17 and then the epilogue. We are listening to a name I cannot pronounce called My Nocturnal Serenade. So let's continue. This is a kind of, I don't know, long chapter maybe. But I'm gonna give it a try. Yeah. Just traveling. They're just traveling, the demon and Pain. So. We all know that cup. Yeah. Oh, there's no children in this readings. Any of these readings. It's not kid friendly. It is mature audiences only. I mean, there's no sex scenes. There's really no curse words unless I got a curse word stuff of my own. It's mature audiences only because there's a scene of mention of self-harm, not really a scene of self-harm. It's got the scene of aftermath of slasher movie violence, which is just blood everywhere. It has a scene of murder by a serial killer. It has a scene of murder by a demon. Hi, Blackie. It has a scene of, I have to read this chapter, it's Crazy Cat. Scene of abuse and a scene of torture, so do continue at your own risk. And we will now continue at our own risk, like I said. Yay, what a joy. I have to read this chapter. It is not to step on right now. Oh. So. Whew. Pain had been traveling with the demon for a few days now. He had barely had anything to drink and had nothing to eat for these few days. You can imagine how that feels. That sucks. Hey! Get out of my butt! He was cold, tired from lack of sleep, and becoming seriously pissed off from the combination of lack of warmth, food, water, and sleep. Pain stopped when the demon did and studied the demon with confusion. Pain would either have to convince the demon to stop or force the demon to stop by stopping himself. Erdrin von Ziegler, Wolfblood. Okay. I guess you're still human, the demon mumbled as he crossed his arms over his chest. Pain blinked and then knelt beside the stream, gratefully drinking from the frigid water. Yeah, anyway. The demon surveyed the area until Pain finally quenched his thirst. The demon took notice and continued on his way. Pain followed him, not as reluctantly as before. After a short amount of time, Pain noted that he had to relieve himself. His body wasn't used to being hydrated, and even Pain found it annoying that he needed to empty his bladder every 10 or 15 minutes. Because that actually does happen. Yeah. This should be good. We got WWE going on in the background too. Apparently the demon found it annoying as well. Why are you going to piss as often as you are? The demon asked as Pain emerged from behind the tree after emptying his bladder again. It's called being able to drink water after about 3 days. My body isn't used to being hydrated right now, Pain answered. The demon stared at Pain and sighed. Humans, the demon muttered under his breath. He glared at Pain, and then his ears flattened against his head when Pain's stomach growled with fury. The demon blinked and looked at Pain with confusion when Pain's stomach ended its horror session imitation. I'm hungry. Pain told the demon with embarrassment. That was your stomach? The demon asked. Pain was silent, staring at his feet and feeling his face and ears turn blazing red. The demon watched Pain, and Pain heard a quiet sigh, and then the demon began to walk away. Yeah, I gotta change that, okay. Pain followed the demon, who stopped and looked at Pain over his shoulder with annoyance. What? Pain asked with confusion. Your butchered pig and angry bear stomach is going to alert anything that breathes of our presence, the demon informed Pain after Pain's stomach finished squealing, rumbling, and growling. Pain narrowed his eyes and then stalked over to a tree Pain hoped would provide satisfactory shelter. Pain silently seethed as he stared at his feet. Pain didn't hear the demon leave this time and looked up to ask him a question to see he wasn't there. Pain blinked and looked around, getting up to see if the demon was behind the tree or in the tree. The demon wasn't there. Pain wondered if the demon had left him and wasn't going to return. Pain sat back down by the tree and began to review his survival skills and realized with a harsh jolt that he didn't know how to hunt, track food, basic directions, or anything truly essential other than how to possibly start a fire and cook any seriously unlucky animal. Okay. Pain glanced up on occasion to see if the demon had returned, hating the fact he was forced to rely on someone for his survival who obviously had no idea how to keep a human alive. Ow. Pain heard a quiet rustle in snow-covered leaves. Pain recognized the rustle as the demon's and felt relief flood through him. Pain looked up to see the demon had no food and resigned himself that he wasn't going to eat today before getting up. 2 steps from hell, united we stand, divided we fall. I know you guys can't hear it, but I am listening to music, so. The demon headed away, and Pain followed the demon. Pain watched the demon's tail twitch with growing annoyance by Pain's now constantly rumbling and squealing stomach. Pain was just as annoyed by the sounds of his stomach as he knew the demon was. Fuck. Hey. The demon stopped walking and Pain stopped as well. The demon's tail twitched and raised slightly as the demon turned around to face Pain. The demon studied Pain and noticed Pain's irritated expression at another low rumble of his stomach. Are we almost somewhere where we can rest? Pain asked quietly. The demon was silent, and Pain saw the demon's slightly raised and twitching tail lower itself to the ground, the silver scorpion-like tip still for a few seconds until the demon looked around. The demon headed towards another tree, and Pain reluctantly followed the demon, because that's actually kind of annoying to sleep under trees and bushes and things. Anyway, the demon got comfortable and watched as Pain sat down. Pain pulled his hoodie tight around his body, put his hood up, and put his hands under his armpits, and I think we're actually almost done with this one, so maybe, I don't know. Pain saw his breath begin to cloud out in front of him and hoped he would be able to survive the night. Pain was weak with hunger and had no desire to use more energy than he needed to. I feel the same. The demon silently got up and walked away. Pain sighed, curled himself into a tight ball, and after a few tears spilled over, Pain willed himself to sleep, not blaming the demon if he didn't return. After all, Pain was probably just annoying the demon. It was the cold that woke Pain. The demon had returned and was holding out a few dead rats to Pain, a triumphant smile on his face that revealed his fangs. It actually mentions he has fangs in the last chapter, so. Yeah. Pain stared at the dead rats in the demon's hand and then looked at the demon. You said you were hungry, the demon explained, and Pain detected that the demon was proud of himself. Pain looked at the demon and was reminded of a cat that had killed the unlucky rodents, birds, snakes, or bugs, and brought them to the owners, chest puffed out and cleaning their paws with all the pride that a cat had. Payne blinked and then began to laugh as the image remained fixed in his brain, and his inability to not compare the demon to the situation that Payne had thought of. Actually, that is something a cat would do too. Yeah, here. It's true. Payne tried a few times to stop and eventually began to catch his breath. What? The demon snapped, and Payne realized the demon was mildly angry. They're raw, Payne explained after taking a few more deep breaths. So? The demon questioned, angry and confused at the same time. She looked like a cat that put dead animals for their human. You do realize I can't eat raw critters, right? Payne asked. What do you mean I look like a cat? The demon growled. Oh, no, that's not a bad thing. It's a good thing to be compared to a cat's hunting abilities. It's just I can't eat those raw. Oh, this is a good one. Hazley.
No, it's not
Control.
Chinese.
It's just, Mr. Payne said, hoping the really bad form of flattery at this beginning would work in making sure the demon wouldn't kill him. Payne cursed his luck mentally as the demon stared at him with his glowing silver eyes narrowed to slits. Payne realized that while comparing the demon to a cat was extremely accurate, comparing the demon to a house cat was horribly wrong. Why not? The demon questioned as he handed Payne the dead rats. I could get sick from non-cooked dead critters. E. coli? No, I think that's from raw or undercooked beef. Payne mumbled, relieved that the demon had decided to not kill him. This isn't cow, the demon said. It's rodent, he told Payne. That's nice. I could still possibly get sick from any raw or uncooked dead animal, Payne stated. The demon glared at Payne and stared at the dead rats in his hand. I'll gut them, Payne told the demon as Payne held out his hand. Gut them? You can't eat the organs? The demon questioned with confusion. Payne stared at the demon with slight uneasiness. No, Payne replied. The demon handed Payne the rats, no longer looking as proud as he had when he had returned. Payne manifested a small knife from his spiritual energy, gutted and skinned the rats, and then looked for firewood. The demon was silent and motionless as he watched Payne. Payne returned with dry bark, cut a small bit of his hair, and proceeded to attempt to start a fire with 2 twigs, which, by the way, really isn't as... Oh, okay. It isn't as easy as it looks, by the way. Everybody makes it look easy, but it's really not. Anyway, Payne continued to try to start a fire, realized that he was failing miserably, and narrowed his eyes at the bark, twigs, and small bit of his hair. That's making my face. Payne tried again, and then fell back on his butt as the fire suddenly and unexplainably blazed to life. Payne looked at the demon and watched as the demon grabbed a rat heart, popped it in his mouth, and began to chew, unperturbed by the fact that the rat heart was raw and filled with blood. Payne decided to remain silent and began to cook the rats, keeping himself warm as he did this. The demon watched Payne cook, nibbling on the organs Payne had removed from the cooking rats. I think I still got a sticky. Still got a sticky. Anyway, when the demon had finished eating the organs, Payne began to eat his meal now that it was cooked. The demon continued to watch Payne as he ate. Payne decided it was best to not tell the demon to stop watching Payne eat. Payne finished eating and stared at the now dying fire. The sun was beginning to rise and Payne was exhausted. The demon got up and looked at the surrounding trees. Payne looked up and saw that it was snowing. Payne sighed. Great, it's snowing, Payne said, realizing that it sounded like he was sighing again as he got up. Snow? The demon repeated with confusion as he looked at Payne. It means it's below freezing. Cold enough for people to die from exposure to the elements, Payne said. I think you know people can freeze to death, though, Payne commented, as he stomps some circulation back into his legs. Would you die from exposure to the elements? Okay. Yep, we're still good. The demon questioned. Yeah, I am human. Human enough, anyway. Payne responded. We're almost done, by the way. Which means one more chapter, which will be uploaded next Monday. But let's continue to finish this chapter. The demon blinked and studied Payne, going frustrated by some thought process. The demon glanced around, and then after a long time... Oh, remix on Last Resort. It's Papa Roach and Jairus Johnson. Remix. I like it, anyway. Thought process. The demon glanced around, and then after a long time, the demon sighed. The demon studied Payne with a pensive gaze. Alright, we're going to have to find a place for you so you don't freeze. Let's continue down that way, the demon said, and it headed somewhere. Payne followed the demon and then realized that the demon was starting to realize just how much Payne needed to survive, and the demon didn't seem pleased by that fact. And that's the end of chapter 16. Chapter 17 is next Monday. So, chapter 17 and then the epilogue, so yeah. Because that's the end of book 1 is next Monday, and then we move on to book 2. But in case anyone is interested, I have some accounts. I have a Wattpad account, which is at Tempesta771. A TikTok account, which I have to upload videos to, which is at AirjunCraven2, under the name Tempesta Braveheart. At AirjunCraven2 has no uppercases, no spaces. I have an Instagram account. Let me take a sip of ginger ale over here.
It's ale, alright, just not ginger.
Fuck off. I actually rather like the taste of mead, but I'm not an alcoholic, so we're all good. Anyway, I have an Instagram account, which is Tempesta Braveheart, under the name AirjunCraven. Tempesta Braveheart has no uppercases, no spaces, and AirjunCraven is my Facebook account, which I will try. Don't you dare go back there, Missy! Which is my Facebook account, but I am going to try to accept friend requests if I don't know you. If you're a creepo weirdo, then I certainly am going to block you. I have a Snapchat account. Holy shit, I said that right again. Woohoo! Which is AirjunCraven. No uppercases, no spaces. And we're all watching my YouTube, which is Tempesta Braveheart. Anyway, that is that for today. The last chapter and the epilogue will be uploaded next Monday, and hopefully I'll be feeling loads better. But let's just say, first time for everything, and COVID-19 sucks. So, don't worry, I warned everyone I came in contact with that I tested positive, so blah blah blah. Anyway, more soda. And let me try to breathe. Ooh. Peace out, Girl Scouts, and enjoy the mental hilarity.